Okay, let me turn on these captions. Okay, perfect. This is my presentation for my future predictions for education. And I first want to start off by discussing disruptive innovation. Innovation, which also can be known as disruptive technology, is something that transforms a current service or product into a new one by introducing a more simple, convenient, accessible, and affordable way to access it, or just an updated version of the product that had before been complicated, expensive, and inaccessible. Some examples of disruptive innovation include iPad tablets, Chromebooks, laptops, the flipped classroom versus the traditional classroom, online learning platforms, virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, AI, and some things like that. And here are my predictions for the next 10 years. Now, I chose to do predictions for the next 10 years because I thought that that was more of a appropriate time frame for me to be able to make predictions with a certain amount of confidence. I didn't want to have a Back to the Future moment where Jaws 19 comes out, or our flying cars and hoverboards. So I think that for the next 10 years, these current trends will continue. So I have online collaboration being the forefront of learning, 3D printers being more widely used across schools and all grade levels, one-to-one access devices for students, and more classes using a flipped classroom model. Now, for online collaboration, there was a study done in 2017 where researchers found that computer-supported collaborative learning helped facilitate motivation, interaction, and achievement. Two activities were designed and implemented in a course with about 200 undergraduate students. And in one of these activities, researchers found that the computer-supported collaborative activity was a large contributor to students' academic performance when blended with traditional learning. So they drew the conclusion that the computer-supported collaborative learning improved the quality of teaching compared to just the traditional lecturing alone. 3D printers. Oops. 3D printers, I think that since they are becoming more affordable and more accessible, we'll see these in classrooms and school campuses more, whether it be in a STEAM lab or a makerspace. Companies like MakerBot Industries have created 3D student curriculum for classrooms, and 3D printers give students the opportunity to plan, collaborate, create, and refine their designs. And it's a hands-on tool for them. One-to-one devices. Some of these devices are becoming more affordable, like the Chromebooks, and so I see that students will have one-to-one access. Students at my school from kindergarten to second have one-to-one access to iPads, and in third grade, that's when students start to bring their own devices. And even if the parents opt out of the Bring Your Own Device program, the district will provide that student with a classroom Chromebook. So they do have access to the technology in the classroom. And finally, we have the flipped classroom. Researchers in South Korea did a study in middle school to see if a flipped classroom model would be more effective in increasing student learning and achievement. And so the narrative feedback that they had found was that there was positive impacts on both learning and teaching. And some of these impacts included a more equal and democratic environment in the classroom, creating a more enjoyable teaching and learning environment, increased self-confidence, and inspiration for the teaching and learning community. And I've actually um, embedded my flipped classroom video that we did for a previous course. And I won't show it all right now, but I'll play just a little clip. Hi, Room 27 friends. Today we are going to be learning about perimeter and area. So let's review. We know that rectangles have a lot of important attributes, but one of the most important attributes is that a rectangle has two sets. Okay, that's a little hard to watch, but I think some feedback that I had gotten from the professor about the flipped classroom was how the students they have that buy-in, watching their teacher teach, and then having that time in the classroom to apply the concepts that they had watched outside of the classroom. And that concludes my predictions. And here are my references. All right. Thank you for listening.